Hey guys, it's Jordan here with the Bet Locker. I'm here to go over the Tour Championship recap and the Week 0 college football recap. How we did this last weekend, how we did on the DFS cheat sheets, all that fun stuff. Take a moment, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned to the end of the video because I'm going to go over scheduling on when everything is posted on the site for the next week. But yeah, let's dive into it. Okay, guys, let's dive in. So, as always, here's our website, thebetlocker.com. Front page here, go down to current winning trends, little taste of what you're going to see. 2-0 in college, NFL preseason. Got Cam Young a couple weeks ago. Finally got Fleetwood, baby. It's been a long time coming. And got him in gut place, too. So, we'll go over all that. I think this week we're going to start with the DFS cheat sheet, though. NFL is coming up, and that's our best sport, especially in the DFS realm. So let's dive into that one first. We did really good. We nailed every player. As you can see here, I mean, obviously take Scotty. You know, everywhere I wrote, you know, feel free to take Scotty. If they started with the starting strokes like they did last year, he would have still won. I saw that this morning. He would have still won by 2 strokes. So, I mean, say what you want. I kind of like the starting strokes because I feel like you get an advantage with Scotty or with how he did throughout the whole year. But at the same time, I mean, I get for the casual viewer how it's hard to follow and whatnot. On the same note, I did find out and did research beforehand that he still got paid $15 million extra for being number 1 in the FedEx Cup through the first 2 tournaments. So then this last tournament was just for all the extra money up top. So the last 10 million, whereas last year you just got the full 25 after the end of the Tour Championship. So I don't really feel bad for him. I mean, I guess I do in the standpoint of Tommy wins 1 tournament ever, and he's the FedEx Cup winner for the season-long winner, whereas Scotty won, 4 times, and he finished in the top 8 every single tournament, and he's not the overall season winner. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. But anyways, that's a little tangent. So here is the cheat sheet. Like I said, pretty much nailed every player. Tommy Fleetwood, Russell Henley, Patrick Cantlay, Cam Young, Ben Griffin, he tried to get up there. You still had to be perfect with who your scrubs were and how you mixed them, because I had, like I said before, I usually play 3 teams. Sometimes I max out if I really like a tournament. I'll do lower stakes and I'll max out the entries, 20 usually. But I didn't do it this time because you just kind of, I knew that you had to be perfect. From years previous, you still have to be perfect. And I was perfect in 3 spots. I had Tommy, Russell, and Patrick Cantlay in one of my teams. I had a Scotty team, obviously, because I had him projected at 50%, and he ended up being 48.3%. So half the field had him. So I obviously had one team with him and didn't do great. Just barely above min cashed with the Tommy, Russell, and Patrick team. That one was, let me see. Like I said, you had to be perfect. So had that. Went with Spawn because I thought that he would be hitting the ferry more. Went with Straka to do a ownership pivot. I just thought no one's going to be on him, which they weren't. He was only 17% owned, and he didn't do great. He was a lot rustier than I thought, obviously. And then Bridgman, he didn't do great either. I chose him because of his how he's been doing with his driver off the tee. He's been hitting every single fairway. That was evident. And you see here in my course and field notes, I said, I cannot stress it enough, focus heavily on driving accuracy. And that was key the whole entire tournament. And who was number 1 in that? Tommy Fleetwood. Who's second in that? Russell Henley. I mean, it wasn't obvious, but it was. The writing was there. It's just people couldn't fathom not taking Scotty or not taking the big names, and they didn't trust Tommy on Sundays, which I don't blame him. I've just been on him all year, so that's why I had to take him, obviously. And yeah, like I said, I mean, if I would have taken Brian Harmon with these guys, if I would have taken Sung Jae was my downfall because I had another team with Tommy Russell, Victor Hovland, Sam Burns. That was great. And then I had Sung Jae. I was big on Sung Jae because his driving accuracy was literally fourth in the field. And so I was like, oh man, if he just has any inkling with his irons, he's gonna be okay. Nope, of course he doesn't. His approach shots are horrendous. Um and that was it. So I mean, like I said, you still had to mix in the correct lineup with the scrubs in the 6K range, whether it was with Scotty or whether it was with Tommy, Russell, and Patrick. Let's go to the winning lineup in this one. So winning lineup: Tommy Fleetwood, Russell Henley, Patrick Cantley. Check, check, check. Had all of those. And then, excuse me. And then Cam Young, we had him on the sheet. Corey Connors, didn't have him. Didn't really like his approach play around the green play. And then Akshay Patia. So that was the winning lineup. I mean, that was just awesome. Didn't have Akshay on here just because his right to left fades because he's a lefty really pointed towards every water hole, it seemed like. And so I just didn't want to take the chance, but he did really good. His approach shots and his putting was great. So had three out of the six positions perfect. Had the other positions on here. Cam Young, you just had to mix and match him like always. But the 30-man field is really hard to nail. I think the big advantage and where you can take advantage of the field is when we do have 120-ish guys and you have a cut to be had. And if you can get all six guys in the cut, you're already ahead of, most of the time, 40% of the field. So this week was tough, but had great guys. If you mixed and matched them well, then that's great. I had messages on back in my Tommy play, so let's go over that. But yeah, feel free to message me if you have any questions about the cheat sheets. PGA cheat sheets probably going to stay through this season until the end of the year. It's not the regular season. The regular season doesn't start till January when they go to Hawaii, but it's still the 51 through whatever to try and get their tour card for this next season. So it's still main events. It's still PGA players, and we'll probably do the cheat sheets, but we probably won't do picks because it's really hard to bet the picks, especially if they're not big names. So I'll probably stay away from that because I want to make sure I'm making as much profit for everyone. So keep the cheat sheets around. Little sneak peek: our best cheat sheet is coming up, and our most profitable sport in DFS, NFL. So that is a little snippet and what it's going to look like coming up here in just 1 week, baby. Can't wait. But for now, let's go over our locker picks. So we had a great weekend. So Paul, our OG Sharp, little rundown on him. I'm really lucky to be partnered with him. I met him through my dad. He retired to Vegas years ago, and he wants to stay retired, but he likes to do these in his off time when he's not golfing and whatnot. But so he sent this article over to me, but I gave him access to the site because I wanted to make sure like hey, you are my OG Sharp, like you are my college guy. So here's his little snippet on how he did. Cheers to a good weekend. So yeah, he had Iowa State +3, nailed that. As he says in this article, I mean, you can pause the video and read it if you want to, but he really wanted to focus on that divisional matchup, which is smart. I mean, they over prepare for these division matchups. They Iowa State still had the quarterback, the coach coming back. And then it was true. I was looking at it. Kansas State really relied heavily on DJ Giddens, and he got drafted by the Colts. So, when they got rid of him, the running back was a sophomore, and he had no experience. He didn't have any stats or anything. So when I was looking at what Paul said, I was like, yeah, this should be good. Iowa State, dog of the day. So that is a great start to the freaking college football season and to betting season. I mean, football season in general. So dog of the day, nailed that. Iowa State +3. Tour championship, Did it. Nailed Tommy Fleetwood. 14-1 was the opening line, and I got him. So I don't live in a state with the sports book, but there is one an hour and a half away. So sometimes I go there. Well, I definitely go there once a week when football starts. So I'll be there this week to make sure I get my college bets in, and then next week to get the college and the NFL bets in. But for golf and stuff, sometimes I'll make the trip out, or I have friends that live in Vegas, so they put the bets in for me. Anyways, finally nailed Tommy. I got the bet in late, so I got him at 12-1. You could see that picture. I made a couple small videos and I posted it on X, so you could see that picture there. But when I was looking at everything, running the models, running the sims, everything like that, I focused heavily on driving accuracy, and I just lived and died by it. And he was number one, and he was popping. He wasn't missing the fairway the last 12 to 24 rounds, and his approach play was obviously awesome. And then at the same time, he had that fire in his belly. He wanted to win just as much as everyone else, but I know that the monkey was on his back and whatnot, you can say, but he wanted to win so badly that I just thought he's going to be trying his best, and he's hitting the fairway the most. So I went with it, nailed it, lock of the week, and that was our lock. That was our second lock within the last 3 weeks. So I hope you tailed it. I know some of you tailed it because you were messaging me about Tommy freaking out. So I'm so happy that some of you guys took advantage of that. And then long shot of the week, Colin Morikawa. I tried to still stick with at least 30-1. He was the same way, just a monster off the tee. You know what? To tell you the truth, I forgot he was playing when on come Sunday when they said his name. I was like, oh yeah, Colin's on this slate. Let's see how he finished. I didn't even notice. He finished tied for 19th. He didn't do anything special. 64, 70, 70, 68. So he only shot -8. He did all right. Wasn't even close. I mean, he didn't do anything special. He couldn't make birdies, couldn't make putts. Same as always. I mean, I didn't give up on Tommy all year, and I felt like I didn't give up on Colin all year, but I should have, to tell you the truth. So that's why I went with him. There could have been a million choices in that spot. Well, 29 other choices, but we didn't go with it. Let's go with our free pick next. So free pick. my friends messaged me after. Oh, we'll go over college football free pick too. Nailed it. Duh. My friends messaged me after round one and was like, you shouldn't have went with Victor. And I was like, give it time. He has 4 rounds. And I was just laughing with them. And then where did he end up? He ended up tied for, he was standalone 12th, but he was tied for 7th throughout the whole Sunday round. Shot -7 on Sunday. He started out slow, and after the round 2, I mean, he was only, what was he, -1? So if he does anything that second round, if he has any round just like they did, he would be up there in top 5, top 3, and have a chance at winning. And then what happens? Who knows what happens, because he has the experience here. And that's why he shot so low on Sunday, was he had the course knowledge and he has the experience playing at Eastlake. So you could have really taken advantage of him on the showdown slate. If you don't know what that is, it's basically just a daily in golf. So you're just picking guys for that day. Sunday is tough because they do placement points. So we could dive into that the next time we go, when we take that, probably in months' time. But yeah, you could have taken real advantage of Victor on Sunday just by simple, no one was taking him because he wasn't up there, but he had the form and he had the course history. So he was in the winning lineup for the showdown for Sunday. But yeah, he saved face. And, it was the same thing. He was driving accuracy, 4th in fairways gained, 2nd on approach. He was great. He just started out slow. That's it. If he started out hot, he'd be up there in contention and we might be having a much different conversation. So I felt really good about that free pick. Now, Paul, he gave our free play for week 0, and people messages were flooding in after the field goal hit. I mean, I was freaking out too, but I trust Paul, and he messaged me too, and he's like, never a doubt. So that was true. But yeah, I mean, his analysis on it was spot on. Oh, what was scary when I was watching the game, Michael Alhado went down, and I thought, oh my gosh, here we go. And he went down when they were behind, I think, in the game. Then he comes back and he's limping after every play, but that kid was a stud. I mean, he stayed out there, gritted it out, and he led him to the game winner drive. It was crazy. It was awesome to watch. So that analysis was spot on. Go ahead and check that out and pause the video if you want to read his whole breakdown. Like I said, this is all just a preview of what you get when you become a member. So you have the breakdowns, you have everything, you have our picks of what we want you to take, and we're taking them ourselves. So we're in it with you together. So, yeah. So last thing, so we went over locker picks, DFS cheat sheets, free picks, gut picks. So Paul didn't give a gut pick for college. He's waiting for week 1. Week 0, it was just out of nowhere. I wasn't even planning on having him do a week 0 picks, but like I said in the videos, he couldn't wait. He was just excited that college was back, ready to give them, and I was like, let's roll. So we got those. So we'll have that up for next week. And then I had my gut pick. So sometimes I'll do this when I feel strongly about one person. I'll choose them as my locker pick, my lock of the week, and then I'll choose them as my gut play too, because I just have a feeling. And I just had this feeling as soon as I started looking at everything, running the sims, running everything, I just had a feeling that it was Tommy's week, and it was awesome to watch on Sunday. And I'm so happy for him. My friends make fun of me, my golfing partners, when we always talk about golf, and I'm never like on the Americans like side. I'm always on the European side for some reason. I'll tell you why. I went to the Ryder Cup in 2012 at Medina, and I watched that comeback that they did. If you don't know, look it up. Historic comeback from the European to beat us on our home turf. It sucked. But I was there in person for my first ever PGA event, and Rory drained this like 15 footer in my face. Like literally, I was 10 feet away, and he drained this 10 footer, and the crowd went berserk, and he like turned around, and the fire in his face, like the way that they were holding themselves and showing themselves. And I'm just a PGA fan. I'm also just I'm a gambler at heart. So like I don't have ties to any team. I don't have ties to any person or anything like that. I just like the best people and who's going to cover the spreads and who's going to win bets. so I have strong feelings about Tommy. Obviously Keegan, Rory, like in those moments I was like, man, I'm just a sports fan in general. So that's why I had Tommy in my gut. Never had Scotty in my gut, because I just truly felt that there's 29 guys chasing you. It's not a flip of the coin. It's not 50-50. It could be anyone's ball game. And I felt that Tommy was the best with driver, and he was there to last week, and he's been there this entire like last half of the season. And I just thought maybe it's his week finally. So feel free to pause it, read my whole analysis on that and why we took him. But like I said, and like I've said before, gut plays are meant to be fun. They're meant to be entertainment, and they're just those feelings that you get in the pit of your stomach. Like, this team's going to win no matter what. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what any expert says, what any simulations say. This team's winning, and I'm taking them, and that's final. It's always intuition before your intellect takes over. And your intuition always talks to you first, and then your analytical side starts to tell you, wait a second. No, listen to that intuition first. So that's it, guys. That's the recap. Hopefully you were profitable. I know that most of you were, because you're messaging me after the Hawaii game and after the Tommy win. So sign up, become a member if you're not, and, get on this winning side with us, especially with our 2 best sports coming up, and especially with our first love, DFS. And these cheat sheets have been my savior and my most profitable thing for the last, I'd say 3 years now. So make sure you become a member and get that. Scheduling. So For golf, I'll still post this DFS cheat sheet on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. So they'll be ready to go the day before the tournament starts. Excuse me. And then, wow, excuse me. And then, sorry, guys. Woo, sorry. Coffee. Get you every time. All right. So schedule. DFS cheat sheet for PGA, Wednesdays, 10 a.m. They'll be posted. And then the NFL DFS cheat sheet will be posted on Fridays. I'm still wondering, I might post them on Saturdays because I want it up to the last minute to make sure that no injuries and who's starting and everything like that. So probably for this first one, I think everything's going to be set in stone, and I'll do it for Friday. And then we'll see how the timing goes. Because if any last minute injuries come, I can't change it. And and if I don't catch people in time, I might make an alert on X or whatnot just to be like, hey, switching out this guy for the cheat sheet and whatnot. But I'll do it Friday, 10 a.m. And then locker picks, gut picks, free picks, everything like that for college football is going to be for Fridays and then at 10 a.m. So Friday, college football, 10 a.m., everything will be posted. Saturday, 10 a.m., everything will posted be for NFL. So PGA, Wednesdays, college football, Fridays, NFL, Saturdays. If you have any questions, message me. So that's it, guys. Let's have another profitable week this week for college football, and then let's get excited for NFL coming up. We'll see you next time.